Seems like I finally have the time to talk about something else than ponies. So let's review something fresh. Might be the next big thing. Hard to tell at this point, but it shows a lot of promise. You see, we're gonna review a pilot episode today. The potential show is called Infitiny and is created by Owen Dennis, who seemingly works on regular show. I don't know if that is good or bad, never watched it. So what is this pilot about? Well, it's about this girl named Tulip who is stuck on a bizarre train. How did she end up there? We don't know. All we know by this point is that she has been stuck on it for about a week, and that she has a glowing green number on her hand. Tulip is trapped on this train, I assume because it never stops. All she can do is going from one car to the next, and given the name of the pilot, there are probably a lot of them, and every car seems to offer infinity possibilities. As far as we can tell, a car can contain anything. The episode starts in one containing a physics puzzle Tulip and her robot friend 1-1 have to solve. At this point I really had to think of Portal for some reason. Maybe because the robot, or at least half of it, reminded me a lot of Wheatley. 1-1, by the way, is a rather hilarious sidekick, or rather sidekicks, as he inhabits two personalities and can split into two halves at will. The glad one is a bit dim-witted, completely optimistic. For convenience, I will simply call this one Wheatley, while the sad one is a pessimist and rather morbid. I'll call him Marvin, though he seemingly has a bit of an obsession with toilet humor as well. However, Marvin's dry pessimism simply makes him comedy gold, especially in conjunction with his happy-go-lucky other half. Tulip on the other part plays a straight man to the both of them, or rather everything. We don't learn too much about her, but given her appearance, she is probably rather smart, maybe a bit of a geek, which is supported by her form of articulation.
It won't wash off. It doesn't seem to be powered by anything. Numbers are quantitative. They represent things. But this one just sits there like a dumb number, getting dumber every minute that it sits there.
Yep, definitely the intellectual kind of character. She's the type of character that needs a logical explanation for everything. She's a bit similar to Dipper in Gravity Falls, though she reminds me more of early Twilight and MLP. Especially in episodes like Feeling Pinky Keen.
Well, you know, I want to help, but numbers on hands don't really have any connection to shadow monsters, and I'm not really a saving kind of person. I'm more of a self-looking-ish person. Self-ish? That is not the word I want to use.
Have I mentioned that the dialogue in this pilot is incredibly clever? Pretty much every joke is perfectly timed, and the comedy can be pretty dark at times, which I really enjoy. In any case, after Tulip and her robot friends manage to get past the fart car, they enter a car which inhabits seemingly a complete world inhabited by dogs. Insert bigger on the inside TARDIS joke here. This is where Tulip meets her ruler, Atticus, who might be my favorite character out of this pilot. A lot of comedy derives from the fact that he and his subjects are seemingly rather intelligent and are capable of speech, yet still behave like normal dogs. They ask Tulip to help them to defeat a giant shadow monster. It turns out that it's just a spider, but there is a true threat in form of a killer robot, and that's where things get interesting. The presence of this robot is perhaps the most fascinating thing the pilot has to offer, as it seemingly is linked somehow to the mysterious number on Tulip's hand, as it goes down to 49 after she managed to chase it away. The question is, what did it do there? Tulip seems to believe that the robot damaged a water pipe, but it seems to work on something. Maybe it actually was there to repair some sort of damage. It told Tulip that she should return to her seat. Maybe the robot is supposed to keep order on the train. Maybe it's actually not as dangerous as it seems. And that's basically it. It's just an 8-minute pilot after all, so there isn't that much to talk about. It was a very entertaining episode with a lot of witty dialogue and many mysteries to uncover, which gives it a certain Gravity Falls vibe. I suppose you could also argue that it's rather similar to Adventure Time. A friend of mine told me that there is an episode with a quite similar concept. I just started with season 2, so I don't know. In any case, the animation quality is pretty decent, not too impressive, but I like the admittedly rather simplistic art style, especially Tulip is rather cute. But there are a couple of things we should keep in mind as this is just a pilot. There's no confirmation as of yet that it actually becomes a show. It seems to gather some popularity rather quickly, and I can only hope that Cartoon Network picks it up, but for all we know the matter might have been decided already. And if they pick it up, It is also important to keep in mind that pilot episodes doesn't always equal first episodes. This pilot here is more a proof of concept. Not to mention that 8 minutes is a rather odd length for a TV show. It is quite likely that an eventual first episode would show us a bit more of Tulip and how she ended up on the train. If it gets picked up, it might be retooled a lot. Maybe a different animation style, different characters, and they might even redesign or rename existing characters. Just compare how Steven looked in the Steven Universe pilot, and did you notice that Finn was called Penn in the Adventure Time pilot? I personally hope that Atticus becomes a main character. I think he's a lot of fun, and it is a bit hard to tell if he is supposed to be a main character in the short or if he is meant to be a one-off character. In any case, I see a show with a lot of potential. Cartoon Network? Don't waste it. But what about you? Do you jump on the #Infitiny hype train? Or do you think it's a waste of time? Did you even know that it exists until you clicked on this video? Let me know in the comments. I am Tricky Fox. Stay foxy.
Sly as a fox, you got me under your spell. But you know I'll never tell that I know you know so well. Sometimes you can be too smart for you're